I want to talk about 3D printing, turning ideas into models into reality. My son put 3D printers on his Christmas list, and I thought this might be a great time to get a 3D printer. You can look up thousands of different models that you can download and print for free. It's fun. But where I think it gets really exciting is when you model your own stuff. Had never used Fusion 360 before. You can download it for free. Anytime I got stuck, I just asked ChatGPT, and it was able to solve my problem, and I was able to quickly model something and print it. My wife had a challenge. We installed a new vanity. The drawers were much smaller, non-standard size. She was really concerned that she wasn't going to be able to put all the things that she needs to get ready in these tiny little drawers. And we thought, well, why don't we 3D print some compartments? So I quickly put in the measurements that I thought were about right, just made a little outline, ran and printed it. This is the very first print I made from Fusion 360. It was just a quick little print just to check the height and most importantly the dimensions, slide it all the way through the drawer to make sure that it would fit before I committed and made the full box. So with that, with the confidence to do that, I made a box. So exciting. What was really cool though is I could try that box and test it. I could adjust the thickness of the walls. I could adjust the height. I could adjust the size that I wanted it. And I think it was that moment where there's these little screws at the front of the drawer that stick out. And I could have made a box and then drilled them out, but I thought, I have Fusion 360. While I'm modeling the box, I'll just model in a couple of holes. And that way, when I slide the box up against the drawer, it'll be flush. There's just something about that process of imagining something in your mind, grabbing a little piece of software that I'd never used, modeling it and hitting print. And then you walk in and you open that little door to your printer. I mean, it feels like magic. It's just right there. Just such an exciting experience. From that moment, I've been so excited about 3D printing. It's a new tool that I have in my head that I can think about. A lot of the stuff that I make is somewhat destructive, right? I take metal and I bend it, or I cut it, or I take wood and do the same. This is generative. It builds up the model, and there's just something exciting about that. The other thing is the precision. I mean, we're down to millimeters here. I was printing the organizers so tightly that I realized I had to add tolerance, just because when I went to lift them up, it created a suction effect from how tight they would slide past each other. The air would get trapped. And so I had to start creating deliberately little gaps in between the organizers so that I could pull them out easily without the air creating a vacuum and pulling them down. I start adding little nubs on the insides of the drawers so that I can hook a thumb on and pull them out. So this is really exciting. Of course, once we got going, then we just had to keep going and build up these organizers. So what started as a few simple organizers at the bottom suddenly became double-decked multi-organizers, and we thought we would just slide the bin back and forth across the top, but the convenience of having all of this just right there in the top drawer was so high that we went ahead and printed another box. And so now I've got a double-decker row of these. Drawer 2 created an interesting problem because when you reach down, you pull up on the drawer and then pull out. And I made the boxes so high that they started catching. If you've just pulled normally, they were the same height as the drawer. But if you pulled up and then pulled out, they would catch. No problem. I just adjusted my model, moved them down, and now you can pull them out. Just for good measure, this one with the brush would every once in a while pop up and then catch and get stuck and get locked in there. So I lowered it, and honestly I've never had a problem again, but I also curved the front so that even if it did for some reason pop up, as it caught the edge of the drawer, it would get pushed down. And then down for the drawer below, I just added a couple of other boxes on the side. Got a lot of fun things coming as I incorporate this 3D printer in my build. I'm really excited about it. Should be fun. Stay tuned. There's gonna be cool, fun stuff coming up that will likely involve a 3D printer in several of the projects.